This is Nick Nelson, Mad Scientist of Muscle, and what I've got for you today here is a partial review of the new Julu Smart Dumbbell. Now, the reason I say partial review is because I can't fully review all the smart features of this dumbbell because they haven't quite finished with the Apple iOS app yet. I don't have an Android. The Android app is done, but I'm not able to test it using the app as of yet. So that'll be coming out at a later time once I'm able to fully use all the functionality of the dumbbell. So what I'm going to do here is kind of review what I am able to work with on this dumbbell. And even just using it as a manual dumbbell, it does have some pros and cons, and I'm going to run through those here with you right now. Alright, so this is what the dumbbell looks like. Now, it's basically like an adjustable dumbbell, but using electronics to change the weight. So it has a nice thick handle, which I actually find really beneficial for this. And I'm going to show you another really cool feature that actually changes the dynamic of the dumbbell exercises you're going to do with this thing. So to use this, you're going to push on here. That lights up the keypad right here. Now it has a plus and it has a minus. This is what you use to change the weight. So obviously you hit the minus, you can change the weight, and it goes in increments of 6 pounds. So 6, 12, and you just hear the beep and you heard this noise, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. What is happening here to make this change weight is it actually has 2 posts in the center that when you set it to expand, it goes outwards like so. So here's 18 pounds. Now, it has contacts on the bottom and it has card holder basically things right here. So it physically holds these in and expands in to catch the weight, essentially. So if I want to go even lower, you know, let's say right down to the 6 pounds, and you do that by pushing the plus or the minus, you can be at 6 and you can actually go all the way, jump all the way to 36 by hitting the minus and going through again. So what this does, it gives you the ease of changing of weight just with the push of a button. Now, for the most part, this pad works pretty well. I've had a few instances where I've had to kind of fiddle with it a little bit extra in order to get the thing to change. But overall, I think it's a good concept, and I really like what they've done with this. Now, I'll give you kind of a close-up view here. Now, the one thing that I can tell you here is because these are truncated at the bottom, they're chopped at the bottom, it does change the balance in your hand a little bit. So if you were to set this down, this would basically roll like so. Now, the cool thing is if you're doing an exercise like a curl, you can actually hold it like this, so you're getting more weight kind of pulling down from the bottom. So the offset weight is almost like a kettlebell-ish, so to speak. Most of the weight is still fairly well balanced, but you can get a little bit of offset weight training because of that. So set that back on here. This went to 2 sets and 2 reps. So this actually tracks your workload. If I had the app, this would be transmitting that workload into the app so you could track exactly how much you lifted, the number of sets you did, the number of reps you did, the total workload, calories burned. It's not really anything that I would really put a lot of stock into as far as that goes. Even on cardio machines, calories burned is kind of just more like a vanity metric where it just kind of tracks, but it's not really doing it. It's not really telling you how many calories you actually burned. It's a guess. Now, this thing does come, and this is one of the other major issues that I had with it. It comes with this USB-C plug. You need to have a USB plug adapter to basically either a computer or something almost like an iPhone adapter. I actually ended up using something completely different. I ended up using a cord from my wife's BlendJet, which uses to charge that. So I would plug that in USB into an iPhone charger, which then plugs into the back of this thing, which charges the base and charges the handle. A little bit convoluted. So ideally, I would recommend to them, if they could arrange for something like this, actually getting an adapter and including it with this little mini USB charging cord. That's really like the only thing that's going to hold you back. If you don't have a way to plug this in to an outlet, you're not going to be able to charge it. So that's kind of a big thing that I would recommend to them to improve upon this before they ship this model or after they ship this model, because you will need that in order to use this. If you can't charge the base, you can't charge the handle, you're not going to be able to change the weight. Now, I'm going to pull this out. These basically slide out. This is what the individual plates look like, 3 pounds each. So when they expand, that becomes 6 pounds on each side. These slide in to each other and hook onto each other like that. So when this center thing comes through, boom, it's supporting the weight plates. Pretty simple, very elegant kind of way to change weights. And I've used adjustable dumbbells that actually use like a manual turn where you can click and that manually pushes these things out. This uses, electronics to accomplish the same thing. So because this is a smart dumbbell, having the app available to use to track all this, that's really the primary reason you're going to get something like this. And not being able to test that full functionality, what I can do here is basically give you an idea of how well this is built and how it functions. Now, overall, I say it's good. These are solid. You don't want to drop these. Definitely don't want to drop these because that could mess up the contacts and it's going to basically change how this thing operates and it may not function fully. So use this primarily more for beginner to intermediate level training. It does go up to 36 pounds, which is a good weight for beginner training. If you're stronger than that, this is not going to be very useful for you because you will need something heavier. And but overall, this is, I think, a good and well-constructed piece of equipment. So this thing, when you push on here to activate it, can be a little bit tricky sometimes, but keep at it, it will work. Now, to reset the sets and the reps, you hold the minus button for 5 seconds. And that brings it all the way back down to 0. And as I said, you can change the weight from 6 right to 36 with one push of the button. And again, like I said, this is what it looks like when you've taken it fully off. I guess I didn't say that before, but here's what the base looks like. It is a freestanding base. You don't need to leave it plugged in. It does have a battery on it, so you can set it anywhere. And then, let me show you here. If you do a couple of reps, let's say 2 reps of a hammer curl, set it back. It just tracked 2 reps of the hammer curl for me. So this, the app, as I'm made to understand it, does include not only how much weight and stuff you're using, but also suggested workouts and exercises that you can do, including video demonstrations and stuff like that. So I am looking forward to testing that functionality. All right, so if you're looking to do exercises that require 2 dumbbells, you will need to purchase 2 dumbbells. They come in a single dumbbell set here. But other than that, I think it's generally a good product. I will be looking forward to testing it with the app, and I'll make sure and update my review with that link to, testing it with the app. Overall, I think it's fairly well constructed. Don't drop it, as I said. It does have electronics in it, and these are plastic covered. So there is a potential for cracking plastic if you do drop these on the floor. Make sure you're working within your capabilities. This is definitely more appropriate for beginning level of trainers. It will track your workouts, track your sets, track your reps, and will give you workout suggestions and overall exercise and videos in order to see what exercises to do with these dumbbells. So again, good piece of equipment. This is the Julu Smart Dumbbell.